The iPod, a monumental moment for the music industry. And what made it so monumental was that slogan, 1,000 songs in your pocket, a claim unheard of to most people. But how did that come to be? What was the true mastermind piece of technology that made that possible? Well, that was the MP3 file format. But now that MP3s have kind of slipped off into the wind, what happened to them? Where did they go? Why did they go? And were they part of the upbringing and rise of the streaming music industry? Well, let's find out. Hey guys, my name is Darsh. Welcome to my channel. Nice to see all of you. Welcome. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you guys like what you guys want to see. Subscribe, check out all my socials. But without any further ado, let's get right into this video. Starting out in 1982, this is where our story starts to take place, and that's because Brandon Berg actually had an entryway into this entire project. Now, he was doing his PhD and decided that he wanted to take part in something bigger and started working with his PhD advisor on creating a file format that would be compressed and easy to convert and transfer from computer to computer. However, due to the technological advancements or lack thereof at that time, they weren't able to see a way to do it. Fast forward to 1986, they were limited by the technology of their time.
I'm limited by the technology of my time.
They were able to figure some stuff out to actually get the patent done for the MP3 and the ISDN file. Now, we move forward again, 1988. This is when the MPEG, or Moving Pictures Expert Group, decided to lend their name for this new and improved, cool new file format. Now, there are three layers of this format. So there's MPEG layer 1, MPEG layer 2, and MPEG layer 3, or MP3. Now, each of these layers were more and more complex file formats, and MP3 being the most complex of them all. So these three different iterations offered the best quality at lower bit rates, and the higher up you go, the lower the bit rate and higher the quality. Now, moving forward to 1992, we can see that MP3s actually become a reality. Now, though it was a reality, the tech didn't end up catching on as well as they might have hoped, because the technological advancement curve or adoption curve proves that it shows that it's harder to adopt tech when it's new. People don't trust it. So what ends up happening, people start kind of adopting the MPEG 2 format because that seems something that's a little bit easier to adopt. Moving forward, 1993, 1994, the system has now been established. So at this point, the ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization, wow, it's a mouthful, called for a standard in audio encoding. And lo and behold, MPEG decided they wanted to put up the MP3 file format for this audio encoding standard file. And as you can probably guess it, they got it. It became the ultimate streaming and ultimate music file format for everyone, and it became hugely popular by 1997, where it was available to everyone, and it just got huge adoption. It picked up by everyone, and what you found was that they were creating more fires than there were, I guess, not fires. It was basically creating a ton of problems, and most of these problems were actually lying within copyright or illegal distribution issues, because the ability to transfer these files between computer desktops that were just so simple, so small, was so easy to just share music, share any type of multimedia that could fit into an MP3 format and transfer it along. And so we see in 1999 to the 2000s, we see that Napster was created, literally a software to transfer files from computer to computer, making it even more convenient to do this. And the music industry was absolutely, without a doubt, just pissed. They were so upset with this because it effectively made a huge nightmare for them because they had huge copyright issues on their hands. Lo and behold though, 1999-2000, the convenience wore out of using Napster, and a new product needed to come into light to really take advantage of this MP3 format. And that product happened to be the iPod. Now, maybe this is just my opinion, but the iPod was a monumental piece of technology because it was genuinely able for us to put 1,000 songs in our pocket, something unheard of. And that was all due in part to the MP3 file format because of its low bit rate yet high quality included within a small file format. Insane. But what's the issue with the MP3? Why did we stop using it? Why are there now so many new file formats? Well, it comes down to one thing. The issue is that convenience trumps everything. Convenience is the end-all be-all. It's the everything. And what ended up happening was MP3s kind of started to prove themselves to not be the best way to compress music because it wasn't lossless. We found audiophiles flocking towards different formats like an AAC format or even an AIFF format. These different codecs that provide 128 to 192 kilobits per second bit rates were the way to go because they were lossless audio quality codecs versus the MP3, which isn't lossless. So basically there was this article I found by The Verge, and it literally fully deep dives into the music and the sounds that you lose by converting and compressing to MP3s. Now I'll link the full article down below, but that isn't anything against MP3s, but it's just the time when it was created, which ultimately, in my opinion, led to the downfall of MP3s. Now, before I do continue, I do want to ask everyone who's still watching, everyone who's still with me, hi, nice to see you. Anyway, go down in the comments, let me know what you guys think of MP3 as a file format. Is it something that you guys care about? What about the quality of the MP3? Do any of these things matter to you? To me, the quality of the audio I listen to means a ton, and that's why I will spend extra money to get good headphones, or to get a good speaker, or to buy good equipment to make these cool videos for you guys, because this audio means a huge deal to me. So let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear that I'm not alone in crazy kind of audiophile, but let me know. Excited to hear from you. So where does that leave us with the MP3? Is the MP3 really, is it really the best file format? No. So what happened to it? Well, on a nice fable day, I'm not gonna just BS you. Basically, streaming services. Streaming services came in and took everything by storm. Let me explain. So as time progressed, we started to notice a huge drop off in people using MP3s, and that's for nothing more than just convenience. Because in the early 2010s, maybe mid 2010s, depending on where you are, you started seeing this new application, these different types of platforms start emerging everywhere. What are those platforms called? They were called streaming platforms. Things like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, SoundCloud. All these different companies came out with ways to stream music that was so accessible to everyone. Literally made it so that you can listen to any song that's been out in the world for however long, and you can find it on one of these in one of these music libraries. Now it's a little different. You're not owning the songs anymore, but it is really, really cool. And I love how streaming works. And personally for me, I'm a huge fan of it. But what do they use? Because they definitely don't use MP3s. And that's because MP3s do lose a lot of the audio. So instead they use different formats like AAC or ACCs plus AIFs, anything like that that they feel like would be the best ways to do it. And some companies do it different. I know Apple uses M4A. It's all subjective to the company themselves. But what is something to notice is that streaming platforms took over the music industry once MP3 fell. And I personally think that Spotify and Apple Music and all these different streaming platforms played a huge part in making the fall of MP3 such a big thing. Personally, for myself, even with my podcast, I don't use the MP3 format anymore. I don't think it's something that is just as good in terms of maintaining perfect audio quality. Literally listening to this video, I wouldn't want to make this in an MP3 because I feel like you guys would lose so much of that crispiness that's in the audio. And that's a huge thing, and a lot of people are the exact same way. So back what I was saying, the music industry continues to change, and over time we've seen it go from the from the records to the CDs to the MP3s to the streaming. And don't even get me started with how that affects the music industry and the artists themselves who are creating these amazing, amazing pieces of work and how it affects them in terms of monetary. But this becomes now a whole new way of the industry. The industry no longer looks at how many CDs are bought in the first 24 hours, rather the amount of streams. And this is a huge, huge factor when it comes to MP3s, because MP3s were kind of the starting point to get all this music onto your computers. This is kind of where MP3s have gone. We've looked at the past, we've looked at the present, we've looked at the future, and honestly, I'm excited to see where MP3s go. I mean, they're gonna go down the toilet, but let's look at other codecs that are coming out. Let's see how music and how the streaming industry and how the file formats change over time, because clearly something that was made 40 years ago still has a huge impact on what we're doing today, and in that sense, streaming. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys liked it, make sure to press the like button down below. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, comment down below. Let me know. Go check out my podcast, my socials, everything in between, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Later.